And next, here comes Tokazu Harimoto from Japan.
So here he comes, Tokazu Harimoto, standing next to the commentary booth. The producer of Tokazu and Miwa, that's Yu Harimoto, his father, who will not be on the bench for this one. Tokazu Harimoto started beating men inside the top 100 of the world when he was 11 years old and tiny. He is now one of the most massive players on Team Japan. Anders Lind is as different as they come. He's got so much feeling, so much creativity. And while he's got a lot of power, because it's not wrestling, it's how you use your body. Of course, that matters in wrestling. I don't know much about it, but I will say that in table tennis, Anders Lind, pound for pound, is outweighed out here, but he gets so much whip on his backhand. But get ready for his strawberries, his spins, and the craziness that this Danish superstar has. Their first encounter, and you are getting to witness it live. The world rank number 31 versus the world rank number 4, who's been as high as number 2 in the world. The lefty, the Dane, qualifying for Paris with his team was a key factor in that, alongside Jonathan Groth, Tobias Rasmussen as well. And now our umpire for the coin toss, it is Li Lin, taking care of that flip to make sure players know who serves, where they stand, and that all is fair and square throughout the match.
Red or blue? Red for Linda, blue for Harimoto. Blue, you want to toss. What do you want? Receive. Which side? Good match.
Li Lin is clear as can be there. Can I check your equipment, says Anders Lind. The details matter. It's not just, oh, you're smooth and spinny on both sides. Oh no, oh no. There is a massively long list of different varieties, different makes, top sheets, sponges. Anders Lind actually playing with some new equipment after a sponsor change. If you subscribe to his YouTube channel, you've probably seen a lot of his analytics, getting some really cool insights to the game. Tokazu Harimoto, 21 years old, 10 years of pro. Just crazy to think. When he was 14 years old, beat the greatest of all time and 2 Grand Slam champions, 5 titles to his name. And in WTT, his last 3 events, WTT Star Contender Doha, 2025 champion, a finalist in Muscat, and a contender in round of 32 at the Singapore Smash. That's always rough. He's had his events, no doubt about it. A star for a reason. But this clash here, one of the last handful of players to really put a stain on the former world number 1 Wang Chuqin's record, the current world number 2, a lefty, beaten right here by this 26-year-old world rank number 31. Anders Lind just makes it so uncomfortable on the other side. This is what comes with control. If you can control the ball, you can do just about anything. And if you believe, you've got a lot of prize money waiting for you on that table. The champion will walk with $60,000 US. That is a lot of money. Wow. 6 days of action. This is just day 1. The thing is, this test, it sounds easy if you're flipping a coin. If you can win a coin toss, how many times through the round of 32? That's 2 to the power of 5. So 5 coin tosses anyway. Might have that wrong here. Fan vote, 89% behind Tokazu Harimoto. Cast your vote at worldtabletennis.com. 11% Denmark, with a relatively sweet history in table tennis. Michael Mays, one of the greatest comebacks in the last 30 years. Most memorable, most spectacular. Hao Shuai won't be forgetting it anytime soon. Some senses, might not be the way people want to be remembered, but it's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Hao Shuai, a man who's played
the first game,
quite a high level for decades.
Love all.
So Anders keeping the blood flowing here. Getting started, a man who was 173 in the world when he played all the way through to the quarterfinals at the World Championships, starting off this best of 5.
1 love.
A good start here from the Dane. If you've never seen Anders Lind play before, This is a must-watch from beginning till end, no matter what. The cracking power there, but it's Tokazu Harimoto who takes the points. A man who's got some very good vocal positive reinforcement here. A lion's roar, a fight for every point. Soft hands, left inside the table. High enough to get the opponent to attack, but a forehand flick isn't easy, especially with Anders waiting on the other side. Heavy rotation on the first, drives the opponent back, creates himself a little bit of extra time to power up for this down-the-line winner. Perfect placement into the middle on the first, and untouchable on the next. Ooh, little fortune. Clear apology there. You'll hear that in table tennis when someone hits the net or the edge of the table, and it wins them the point because it's not intended. It's considered lucky. Oh, there it is.
2-4.
You've probably heard the stories before, but a serious car accident for Anders Lind affected everything from the way he walks to having to take a serious amount of time out of the game. He was told he might never walk again. And look at him now. Good angle on this one. Tokazu early. Kunihito Tase, head coach for the men's team. That will not be the case come April. Seiya Kishikawa will come in for the new round. Good block here to cover the elbow in the angle. Bending it back to that deep backhand. So fluid, the opener. But it comes back quickly.
Please. 4-all.
4 points apiece here in their first ever encounter. Surprise long serve. There's something we like to call the world's fastest serve. It's actually a Japanese player that I first ever seen do this, Asuka Sakai. Another one off the net, takes this one off the hip. Another IOU in the pocket for Tokazu Harimoto. Unrecoverable, that one. Irrecoverable. Point is he couldn't recover it. Good times. Well, the reason I brought up the world's fastest serve is the only other player I've seen do it close to the speed of Asuka Sakai is Anders Lind. Still in it with a chop. Oh, a tomahawk. What? If that comes down on the table, this looked like it was over for sure. From the barriers here, the curve, how much side spin. You want to see him win that point just for even trying that. Flat hit crushed. Oh, man. Anders Lind. Creativity galore. And it's tied up at 6 each. Nice combination this. Harimoto dealing with the change of pace, corner to corner. Ball kid likes it. Good seat to have. Smiles all around here for this show. I like it. Nice. Players have different ways of empowering themselves, whether it's chole, or simply nice. Nice shot, Anders. Thank you, Anders. You're welcome, Anders. Good deep push. Harimoto with a bit of surprise to the baseline. Sets him up with a 1 point lead. Arcing spin. Ooh! Harimoto handles the chop block. You can do a lot of studying to try and prepare for Anders Lind. And you might win. The better player out here will. Tokazu Harimoto, the favorite on paper, no doubt about it. Their first ever encounter. And he hangs in there for all the change of pace. Harimoto not flustered. Remember, there were a few edge balls. A net, 2 nets rather. And yet Harimoto now, the 4th seed with 3 game points. Cracking backhand and 1
10,
saved. 3rd towel break. He's such a mysterious player, and that works in his favor. Anders Lind.
Honestly, no one wants to think about HIV, but there are things that everyone can do to help prevent it. It starts with getting tested regularly. If you're HIV negative, you and your healthcare provider can decide if PrEP may be right for you. PrEP means routinely taking prescription medicine before you're exposed to HIV to help reduce your chances of getting it. And it can be 99% effective when taken as prescribed. Talk to a healthcare provider about all your HIV prevention options. Our health is worth protecting.
And it only came out for the final point of game number 1. We've got at least 2 games left as long as both players stay healthy. You, Harimoto, watching on. With the rest of us, 11-8 score on screen and game number 2 coming right up.
Second game, Harimoto to serve, love all.
Players back for game number 2, breathing on their rackets to just clean off. What they do is they fog up the rubber, get a little moisture there to wipe away dust so they have full traction. Then you'll see them wipe their hands on the table near the net sometimes. Game number 2, Tomo to start.
1 love.
Lightning striking twice in the same place here, deep to that backhand corner to start it off.
Love 2.
Now Anders Lind has a lot of feeling and a lot of funky spin of his own. So to get an outright service point, it's not an easy thing to do. Tomo, quite strong on serve. Back edge of the table, a little more
1,
fortune.
2.
Just packing up those IOUs, putting them away for later, saving them for a rainy score line. Ooh, cup check.
2-all.
Table tennis ball is pretty light in general. Good read on
2-3.
this. Recognizing the serve would clear the baseline, takes the opening aggressively. Interesting idea. Taps his head there as if to say, well, could have thought that through differently. If it comes down, it's going to be an awkward ball, no doubt about it. Looks like he's going to go strawberry. Then tries to push it baseline. Sometimes just a reminder to be unafraid.
3-4.
It's funny, playing in China. Anders Lind, again, if you read the comments in any comment section after his victory over Wang Chuqin,
4-all.
you sort of wonder, how will he be received here? In my experience, despite the difference in serve success here, Tomo 13.2 in front here. Both players quite an advantage on their serve. Not 3. Stefan Wesch has done it to Christian Carlsen, but out here, 2 chops. The third one is not to be. Power from Tokazu. This is a style of play that his equipment is very rarely used for.
5-4.
Satoshi
6.
Ida aside. You don't see too many players with spinny inverted rubber on both sides of the racket chopping. Potentially in Greece, but very rare.
4-7.
I was going to say, I think the Chinese fans in general like it when they have someone, a rival for their stars, someone to really cheer against. Respect for Anders Lind. Changing it up on the serve here. Steps around.
7-5.
Nice follow-up to serving from out on the forehand side of the table. So out of the second towel break, why would a player do that? There are a lot of questions here. One, to change up the patterns, to get the receiver a little bit uncomfortable, create some new angles, something a bit different they might not have been prepared for. Big point to escape for Tomokazu. Man, is that wrist fast. The biggest lead we've seen this game, to my memory. Tomokazu up by 4 now, converting both of his serves quite quickly. He's used them very effectively, as we saw statistically. Ooh, and an omiyage, a souvenir. The Japanese superstar. It's 5 game points for Tomokazu. Game taken, chop block unnecessary. It's a 2-0 lead. Tomo in a good position here after a tight start to this game. It was a runaway in the business end. And no matter who wins this, as a spectator, you want to see more. But Tomokazu 1 game away. It's going to be a demanding game number 3 and rest of this match if Anders Lind is going to extend. 8-5, that's all he was allowed. Game number 3 coming right up.
今もサーブ1本しか出てない。サーブ結構効いてるから。レシーブ1本、日本中1本取るっていうような感じで全然。
Hashtag practice hall, a beautiful practice hall where the players train, they come in early. Huang Yihua, saw her in the airport, speaks wonderful English, a veteran of the game, still so strong. And Hina Hayata on the other side of the table, so many times now. National champion of Japan in wonderful form, the leading lady. Her service game, her variety makes her wonderful to watch. And as you can see, Alexi on the right warming up, Lin Gaoyuan the opposite side. The stars unite in that training hall. This is their gym. It is where they go to stay fit. What they do in that practice hall right before a match would be enough to get your inhaler out in the first 10 minutes. And for them, it's just the start of getting ready for their match.
Linda to serve, love all.
So 2-0, Tomokazu leads as they both dry their hand on the table. It's Anders Lind with the uphill battle ahead. Love this serve. Shockingly effective. A pendulum serve from the forehand side of the table. It's the opposite of where you would start. He varies it using underspin there. Another one off the top of the net here. Anders just raising his hand. It's about 4 now for Tomokazu should he need the breaks. Shot block carries wide. Tomo with the soft hands. A push from near the baseline of the table in that rally. A reminder of his versatility, changing his patterns.
2-all.
This comes with time and experience. Tomokazu, interestingly enough, at only 21 years old, has a lot of both in the game. 10 years a pro. And it shows out here, catching that at its peak, coming down with some power. Remember, nobody on the bench for Anders Lind. 12 of the last 16 points for Tomokazu.
3-all.
And the toe momentum has been broken. 3 points apiece. It's Anders Lind. The towel break where he's going to have to find some answers. If you can beat Wang Chuqin at world number 1, you can beat anybody in the world. Serious power and turns him around.
4-3.
Tokazu, that had some weight room behind it. Heavy spin, now the height. Hardly any spin needed on that next shot.
4-0.
Not a common reaction here from the crowd. Tokazu taking his swing.
Four, 5.
So Anders talked about the serves and visibility for the receiver. Very forthcoming video about what it's like being a pro, what happens. And another break off the net.
5-0.
I can understand the mentality. Try what you can, and if someone says something, then you go, okay, they'll change.
6-5.
Good surprise factor with that
6-0.
second backhand fast down the line. And winning the point with the spinning shot. Okay, here's one. Get ready for two. That's it. It was the first one, actually, that was surprising. And the second one, just the change of pace. He's made a lot of chops so far. Anders Lind, but Tomo's read them all.
Linda, calm down.
Calm down.
6-7.
Jack Nicholson smile out here like I've never seen before. Anders, like, calm down. Fascinating. Well, in terms of a step around forehand, nothing calm about that. I think the intention is very clear, though. Lee Lin basically saying, hey, I didn't see what Anders Lind did. He's a very expressive guy. Oh, a rare occasion where it's not deuce and you see someone win a point and call a timeout. Usually the only time someone wins a point and calls a timeout is if they've had many opportunities to finish the game and haven't been able to do it. Could just be a moment to realize, you know what? Right now I'm a little bit distracted. I need to stay focused here. Sometimes a conversation with the official, the umpire, does get you out of your head a little bit in a way that maybe, well, you say it like you want to be in your head. But the thing is, you want to have clear intentions at every moment. Anders Lind on his timeout with no coach in a crucial moment here. A very expressive man indeed, Anders Lind. I like quirkiness, I like different. Just fun to watch. Don't know what's going to happen at any given moment.
Seven, oh.
So back from his timeout here, leveled after winning a point, mind you, on that step around forehand, the inside out.
7-8.
Doesn't miss by much here, the long push, but an escape from a well-prepared Tokazu Harimoto, a player who's had answers to all sorts of funky shots. Chops, chop blocks, as opposed to blogs. that are written about. Love the pace in this exchange. Harimoto getting a game we've seen him pull out against the best in the world. Him and Liang Jingquin have produced rallies like this time and time again, but in this righty-lefty battle, these drives are good. Pace into the middle. Third towel break this game. Anders Lind has already used his timeout. What's it going to take? The world's fastest serve is such an incredibly low percentage serve
9-0.
that normally you wouldn't use it unless you had a score of, say, 10-2. Depending on what the match is, you might not even use it then. Good look at a good receive. Takes his chances, Anders. But Tokazu now with a match point on his second serve. And a bagel. Tokazu moves through to the round of 16 through Anders Lind. And Anders saying, here's how I received that. Here's what I need to do. And some good eye contact, a handshake of respect. But a man who walks to the beat of his own drum, Anders Lind, put up a good fight. 8 and 9 in the first and third, game number 2. A run.